What is going on, guys? How are we all doing? So today we're going to be taking a look at something. Of course we're going to be taking a look at something. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Coil Art Mage 217. It is a dual 21700 absolute beast of a mod. So what we're going to do in today's video, we are going to drop it all down to the table. I'm going to do a little unboxing, going to show you through some of the menus and the actual production of the device. Then we're going to come back up the top and I'm going to have a little vape on it and tell you what I actually think of the device in practice. So, while I've got yous all here, still before yous have all clicked off the jog on Bobo, you fat ghost bastard and that, you know what I mean? My name is Bobo, we are the Vapery. If you're new to this channel, hit that little subscribe button and the little notification button to keep up to date with all my latest news and reviews. So, without further ado, we'll drop down to the table and have a little look at this beast. See you in just a second. Right, so the Coil Art Mage 217. Let's have a little look at the packaging, how it comes presented to you and whatnot. So, front of the box, you get pretty standardized Coil Art packaging. Nice, simple, clear packaging with just a picture of what the device is and the name. Obviously, you've got this TPD warnings, which you will expect because they've got to be there. On the back, you've got this Mage 217 box mod. You've got standard configuration, one Mage 2700 mod and one USB charging cable. Dead simple. You also get two 18650 adapters as well, which it doesn't say on there. Slide that off. Then you've got this, which you've all seen if you have owned the Coil Art piece of kit before. On the side, you've got official Coil Art. On the back, you've got all the colours that are available. And on the top, you've got nothing. On the bottom, you've got fuck all. So, slide this open. You get a nice user manual in a lot of different languages, as you would expect. You do get your device actually presented to you in a little protective sleeve, which is always quite nice. And inside the box, you get a really nice braided USB cable, which is pretty standard these days, really. It is pretty standard. So, the actual mod itself. Usually when you buy this, you will get your 18650 adapters in there, but I do not use 18650s in this device and I've left them at home, to be honest with you. So, the actual mod itself, big clicky fire button on the top. You've got loads of venting on the sides there to keep it all cool, and in case your batteries do vent on you, it's going to vent out to the sides. You've got your positive and minus buttons, your up and down buttons, which is one central block. You get a USB charging cable, which you shouldn't really be using for charging, do you know what I mean? But if you need to, it's there. It is there for firmware updates. On the bottom, you do get a little bit of branding. Mage 217, designed by Coil Art. You get your vape in a bin and your C and E. On the back there, you get a nice muddy little bit of branding, Coil Art. And on the top, you get a gold-plated, spring-loaded 510 that is bolted on, which is really pretty good. And that's pretty much it. The battery door comes across from the side, so the batteries aren't going to fall out to the bottom, which is always going to be a bit of a pro. I would like to have seen this to be a little bit more clearer. Stick it in white, stick it in something else, you know, so it stands out. Stick a hot pink. You do get your battery connectors, which are also gold plated, and you get this little piece of string, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's quite handy at the same time. I'm going to pop some batteries in. I am using Samsung 30Ts in here. Line it all up, put the flap over the top, and then that might be the one. So you've got your wattage, that's on the top. On the left here, you've got P, which stands for power. You can change that to temperature control mode and etc, etc. You've got W for wattage. You've got left and right individual battery indicators, which is always a nice thing to see. You get your normal, which is your preheat boost. You've got your resistance on your coil, your voltage in your batteries, the amps being pulled, and then you've got the actual board temperature, which is always good to see. Couple of little ways to get through the menu. If you click the menu button, the fire button 3 times, it's gonna change over to nickel and Fahrenheit. 3 clicks again, and you're going to change over to titanium Fahrenheit, and then stainless steel, and click it again, and you're coming back into power. If you click your fire button 4 times, it opens up your menu for your preheat boost. I do apologise that you can't see this properly, but on top you've got normal. So it's strong, weak, normal, custom and exit. The custom is a custom curve, so you can start off your pull at 47.5 watts and you can end your pull at 75 if you choose to, or however you want to mix that. And if you press your up button and down button at the same time, it locks the screen. Hold it for a second and it locks the screen, which is brilliant. And unlock the screen, screw a tank onto it. I've been using the Carlin on top of here, the Carlin 2, and it looks the part, it looks the absolute part. New coil, old coil, it does have a suggested wattage that you should fire this at. Don't know if you can see that properly. New coil 0.19, and it says recommended at 80 watts. But if you click the old coil, it recognises your settings of what you had before and gives you the same wattage. I had 66.5 watts because that suited me. I think that's pretty much everything about the actual device. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a really solid piece of kit. And yeah. So, we are now going to jump up onto the FaceTime, and I am going to have a little vape on the device, and I'm going to tell you a couple of my pros and cons and tell you what I think about the device in day-to-day use. So, see you all in just a second. So, pros and cons of this device. There is a really quick ramp up with this device. It is like this mod. This device is being described as the hardest hit and regulated mod going, or it was when it was brand new out. It's a regulated mod. It's a regulated mod, so there's no such thing as a hard hit. And if it says it's doing 95 watts, then it should be doing 95 watts. It doesn't hit. But what it does is the ramp up, how quickly it gets to 96 watts, 95 watts rather. And this gets up there pretty quick. Straight away. Yeah, baby. Another pro. The fact that it's a 21700 mod means it's got that extra bit of power behind it, and you've got battery for days. You've got battery for days with it. You've got a really bright, clear screen. It's pretty old school, it's pretty nice. It does what it says on the tin. It's got nothing that you don't need to know on it. Don't know why you really need to know your board temperature, but I'd rather see the board temperature over a puff counter because they're just absolutely pointless. Absolutely pointless. I really like the overall like limited colour on the mod. You've just got the solid colour of the actual device, and then you've got the 2 buttons. Comes in a good couple of colours, as I said before, and they're all similar. They're all dead simply done. And yeah, it's clear, minimal colour, and it's none of the flashy LEDs that you see on a lot of mods these days. Another pro, you've got not stiff, because stiff's generally a bad word for this. You've got buttons with a little bit of resistance. You've got to properly push it, and it's a really nice clicky noise, you know what I mean? It's a really nice clicky button. And I've just turned it off. It's a really nice clicky button, so you know that it's safe in your pocket. You're not going to send your wattages up over everywhere, because you've got to give it a good little bit of force to get it all done. So that's pretty much a lot of the cons. I am now gonna go on and do. That's pretty much all of the pros with this device. I'm gonna hit a couple of cons. Couple of things I don't like about it. I don't like the fact that the 510 is not centered. Like, I do think that would be a little bit better, because you can accommodate bigger atomizers. If that was centered, you can accommodate the 30mm atomizer, no problem whatsoever. But what, I'm about a millimetre away from the edge there with the Kylan on the top. The battery door's a little bit of a pain on this. It's got a little bit of movement in it, not an awful lot, but a little bit of movement in it, and it is very easy not to get it on properly. And have a nice big gap down the side there, and it can be a little bit fiddly to get it all properly on, nice and centered and nice and straight. Obviously, it's a bit of common sense, you know what I mean? Don't just look what you're doing. But there's not a lot of cons for this device, so I've got to pull a couple of things out of my ass. And another little con to it, it's not a con, it's a bit of a subjective con more than anything, that you've got your just generic, rehashed shape of a box mod. It's like very similar to like the likes of like your Wismech RX series. I'm sure Smock have done a couple of mods like this. Battlestar, the old Battlestar mods used to be a lot like this shape. But yeah, that's yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's a subjective, nitpicky con. So in summary, you've got loads of power. You've got absolutely loads of battery life. It's a nice all-round mod, you can't complain about it. It's really simple to use, so we don't need to have a lot of vaping experience. And it's a relatively cheap mod for the size and the power of the device. And it's pretty simple to use, and it's got a decent build quality. I've got another customer coming in now, guys, so I'll be back with you in all just a second. Hello lads, you alright? Customers galore today, do you know what I mean? Right, so yeah. Pretty simple to use, you can't complain about it. You've got a really decent build quality as well. And if I was to lose this, I will go out and get another one. I really would. It's solid. It's absolutely solid, and the battery lasts me all fucking day working in a vape shop. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I think that's pretty much everything covered, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. My name is Bobo. We've been The Vapory, and if you're still here, fucking congratulations, man, do you know what I mean? Brilliant, that makes me dead happy. If you are new here, there should be a little button on that side there. Picture of my face is a little cartoon blowing a big fat cloud. Hit that to subscribe, then hit the bell notification to keep up to date with all my latest news and reviews. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Bobo. This has been the Coil Art Mage. Keep it cloudy, do you know what I mean? Keep it cloudy. Right. See you all in just a little while.